here, right?
Yes, thank you so much, Jana Hitanara, for such important information. If I heard that information before coming to the United States, I would have been much, much better with all of this. And I do not have a lot to cover after that. So I'll try to be as quick as possible and not take your precious time. So student life in the US. So what it actually feels like when you come to the US and become an actual international student here. So first of all, let's talk about, my presentation is not that fancy as the last two, and I try to include some personal pictures to like make it a bit more personal. So I'm gonna talk about housing, and this is Conrad Hall. This is where I am right now, and this is my Bonner Scholarship Dormitory. So this is my second time living here, and this is pretty great because it's only my scholarship people and it's very community based. So housing. So there are two types of housing: on-campus and off-campus housing. Most of the time, international students go with the on-campus housing option, especially for their first years. Those are different type of dorms, the accessibility of which varies based on the price and on the credit units you get in the school and so on. Rooms can be double rooms. That means a double bedroom with one roommate, which is my particular case. Triple rooms, those are like usually bigger rooms that have bunking or lofting beds, and those are shared between three roommates. Single rooms are just single rooms without any roommates, much less space. However, those rooms are personally for students with special accommodations. For example, here on the third floor, there was a student last year who had a single room, who was the only student with a single room, because she had bad allergies and she couldn't be near any walnuts or any type of nuts and their smell. So she had to get a special room with special ventilation and everything else. Suite style rooms. Those are single or double rooms that share a bathroom and a shower. So two rooms and between them one shower and a bathroom. The thing about these is that you have to take care of them and provide them with supplies, bathroom items, and so on. So the student services will not be applying here, as janitors will not come and clean it for you, and you will have to take care of it mainly. So there's also Greek housing. So if you do not know, Greek life is very big in America, and I would suggest you to learn about it as much as possible before coming here, because I was so confused. I heard about it, but I never researched it, and I highly regret about it. So Greek housing is consists of sororities and fraternities, and sororities are for girls, fraternities are for guys, and you can actually go live in one of the houses that your Greek organizations provide on campus with your sisters and brothers. So those are owned privately by those organizations, and you usually pay the same price plus the Greek life price. So I would suggest you look into them as well. Living co-ops. So these were also a shock to me, and I learned about them only in the second semester somehow, but they were right in front of me, a couple of them in a front street. So living learning communities are houses that give students with that similar academic and personal interests together. For example, like wellness, we have wellness and health house, and all of the people who are really interested and invested in providing a healthy community. They gather together and make events from time to time, participate in joint learning topics, and usually they have to also take one class together. So that is about living learning communities. Sorry. So off-campus housing. I do not think that you would take an off-campus housing option as a freshman, especially. However, it is also great to make more affordable housing choices if you're not provided with financial aid from your university for housing. So the first option would be to lease an apartment. I know many of my friends do that, Although this is a very complicated and responsible process, if you get through it, you will get a lot of benefits out of it. But you need to find a nice apartment in a preferably good neighborhood that will not be dangerous for your well-being, and you will be able to go in and out of without feeling discomfort. I would suggest to contact a real estate agent, but make sure to have money for that to afford it, because it's quite expensive here. You need to make sure to understand any contract, and especially the leasing contract, before signing it, because there are different types of leasing contracts. For example, there are joint leasing contracts when you lease an apartment with your friends and all sign under one contract. So if one of you messes up, all of you are responsible and have to take care of it. And if they're individual leasing contracts, you need to know how much you're contributing to the house personally, and only messing up, your mess up will result in some problems. So rent for services. I heard many American students do this, and I was actually surprised to find out it was a thing even for students. So a lot of people just hire employees for their houses, for example, babysitters, personal assistants, cooks, etc. And they just work there, provide the family with the services, and get a special room and even sometimes food included to live there. However, do not forget, guys, that you're international students and that you have limited amount of employment hours per week, 20 hours weekly, and as we mentioned before, you are not allowed to work outside campus most of the time. And I'm pretty sure that this won't apply to you unless the university allows you to. So benefits of on-campus housing. I know on-campus housing may be very, very expensive, especially if you're the one taking care of all the costs. However, it comes with great benefits that sometimes most people don't think about. I haven't thought about most of the time, and this saves a lot of stress, and you do not need more stress on top of your college stress. So first of all, on-campus housing, you don't have to worry about any type of bills, electricity, gas, Wi-Fi, because they're all included in your tuition. You don't worry about fixing things when they're broken. You call a special service and they're there. You don't have to worry about cleaning the community bathrooms and showers, as I mentioned before, and providing special hygiene items for the bathrooms. It's safer due to the service of public safety, daily RA, resident assistance check-ins, fire safety. All those are again included in your tuition, and they provide a safe and secure environment for you. In on-campus housing, you learn to live with a roommate. If you're in a community-based type of housing, you learn to cooperate and to communicate about your needs and wants, because you're going to share a room, one room, two beds with them for a whole year. So you need to have clear and good communication with your roommate. You will make new friends because of living together. Even if you live in a single room, you're going to live in a community, you're going to live in a dorm, and there are going to be a lot of people that you have to share the bathrooms with, the kitchen with, certain items, and having good communication with them is important. You're also going to communicate with them forcefully sometimes because of certain monthly meetings and frequent gatherings, like game nights, Netflix parties. So those are really, really fun, and sometimes some people don't want to attend them, but I made great friends out of it, so I highly suggest it. On-campus housing, it's easier to commute to classes, obviously, and most of those classes are on a walking distance or a biking distance, so living on campus is great. If you forget a book or your laptop and you run to your dorm and you grab it, it is really, really convenient for forgetful people like me. So, and after your first year of living on campus, you can yourself become a residence assistant. All right. So if you feel like you're a responsible person who is a great leader, who can take care of other people and provide a joyful and comfortable housing environment. Oh, right now, RA is knocking on doors. Well, I hope they won't knock on mine. This would be uncomfortable. Yeah, and by becoming an RA, you have to take a lot of special and hard trainings, but it will cover your entire housing cost for the following year, and will give you great skills. So transportation options for students. We do not have a metro. This was in New York, and I love New York Metro. Carpooling, as Anahit mentioned before, is a great option that I wouldn't survive and be able to go to work without. My job is not on campus because I'm doing a work study. Oh my God. I'm so sorry. Can someone else take the floor till I respond? I'm sorry about this.
It's okay, Anjan. If you have, guys, any question, this is the right time to ask questions, and we'll try to answer before Annie comes. Actually,
I'm so sorry about this.
Okay.
I don't know they're checking, but those were the RA check-ins, and right now there are not a lot of people in the hall, so I guess I was the only one that opened up the door, and I didn't answer their questions. So transportation options for students.
Anja, sorry, before you're going on, please, can you speak a little bit louder? I don't know
louder.
whether...
Oh my God, I thought I was speaking too loudly. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. My voice was echoing in my head. Okay, carpooling. Is this range good?
Right. Good.
Okay, thanks so much, Inajan, for pointing it out. Carpooling. So your friends will be very willing to help you with it. As I mentioned, my job is not on campus. So I'm doing work study, and I have to go out of campus to go to certain places, and those are multiple workplaces that I need to switch during the semester. So I always ask my friends to take me there because Ubers are super expensive, taxi is super expensive. So they're always willing to usually give me free rides. They don't ask you anything for it. They just need your company, and you get better with them, you communicate with them more often, you become better friends. But I usually try to compensate them with giving them a cup of coffee, or like buying them a meal, or paying for the gas. They will be very willing to help you in that case, and you will thank them for their time and efforts. Transportation, if you're lucky, as Anahit mentioned, your college city will have public transportation. We have buses that go about once in an hour in the city. However, those are not very convenient, and not many people use those. So I personally feel uncomfortable going around the buses by myself. As a young girl, I really feel uncomfortable, and I take buses only on occasions when I'm with my friends and during daytime. So I do not know about your personal situation, and if you have great public transportation, it will save you a lot of money and a lot of stress, and you can also get a monthly or annual pass, and it will be super affordable. So again, New York. Great transportation system. Not a lot of people have cars, so they use metros a lot. And although those are a little dirty, they are great. New York feels. So Uber. Ubers are a quick rides that you can get by just downloading the app and just ordering a cab. However, those are very expensive. So even if you want to go to have a 5-minute ride, you're gonna have to pay like more than $10. At least in Florida, the rates are like kind of high. So I would suggest to not use this option until very necessary. Walking, biking, one of the best options to go about here. Although one of the cultural shocks is in large distances. So between buildings, there are like large parking lots, and everything is really big. And sometimes walking around can be kind of exhausting, especially when not a lot of people are around just walking, everyone has cars. But walking and biking can be a great physical activity, because in college you usually sit around and go with your academic stuff, and you forget about physical activity. And walking and biking can provide that for you, especially on campus. You can go from one building to another by biking, and it's super fun. I just recently learned how to bike, and I feel great about it, but not confident. Banking. So more serious topics here, banking. So it is a great idea to open a bank account as soon as possible when you get here. I opened it after I got my Social Security, and it was a great help because before that I was dealing with cash and I spent a lot of money not knowing how to bank properly. So when choosing a bank, I would look for a branch near the campus, and I would look for a more famous bank that would provide you with plethora of services and will have special discounts for students, for international students specifically. When going to a bank, check out their services, prices, special offers, their overseas wire transfers. So this is really, really important. Their overseas wire transfers with Armenia especially, because you will at some point need money from home. I know that sounds strange, sending money from Armenia to the US, but my mom had to send me a lot of money for coronavirus, and we had a great trouble with wire transfers. So you need to see what affordable wire transfers they have with Armenia, so that my mom spent $30 just for sending me money, so that you won't spend that great much of money. Bring the needed documents. So before going to a bank, make sure that you have enough money to deposit on your card. When you open it, your passport, your ID, the copy of I-94, I-20 forms, your mailing address, your taxpayer identification number, which is why you go to the Social Security office. So make sure to go to Social Security office before that. Give it some time so that you get back your Social Security number, and you will be good to go. Then you have to also learn about checking, saving accounts, debit, credit cards, checks, locations of the nearest ATMs, so that when you need your bank, you actually have it nearby and you can actually get some money, get some deposits, cash. Get the banking app to make quick transactions, deposit money or checks, check your balance. I get my checks every 2 weeks. Checks are not a thing in Armenia, but Americans get a lot of checks and use checking system. So I get my checks every 2 weeks and I have to deposit them. So I do not go to a bank. I do not get an Uber and go to the bank. I just take a photo and they send my money next day on my card, and it is super great. So get the banking apps for sure. So far, anyone has any comments and questions? I want to go through these slides quickly, as quick as possible, but I do not want to miss your questions. Nope. Okay, healthcare then. Healthcare, most universities offer medical services, as I mentioned before. So first, starting from first aid to performing more complicated services. In my university particularly, they cost $75 only, the checkups. It is considered very affordable. So in Armenia, of course not, but here it is considered very affordable. You can also make an appointment to get some off-campus medical services, but of course those cost a lot more. I can provide you with information on that because I have not used any medical services here, fortunately, knock on wood. But yeah, if you need them, you can definitely make an appointment and go to any clinics. Get health insurance. Many universities don't require this. My university doesn't, and I still do not have a health insurance, but this is such a great, I do not, I see Ada's face. Yeah, it is such a great investment. I know I need to invest in it because it's literally only $30-40 a month. And when you come and start working here, it is not that much money to invest in your health. I'm trying to be more careful with my health, and I'm not super cautious about it, but I would definitely get health insurance and not repeat my mistakes. But make sure to choose the right insurance plan, because insurance, I studied insurance in Armenia in high school, in French Armenian lycée. However, coming here, trying to figure out the insurance, I did not understand the thing. And you need to do great research about it, all the terminology, understand what medical services they provide for certain plans, and especially for international students. Find a trustworthy insurance provider, and you're good to go. Shopping as an international student. Oh my God, I made so many mistakes while shopping as an international student. When I remember how much money I spent the first few months here, I'm getting a heart attack every single time. So as a student, you need to still shop for a lot of things like grocery, stationery, books sometimes, because even if you get a meal plan and you have food, sometimes you need snacks in your dorm. Even if I don't know, you have your tuition all covered up. Most of the time, it doesn't include the textbooks and everything else. So you need to shop smart, sorry. Find student-friendly stores. So student-friendly stores are those that give you special discounts and offers every once in a while, or free stuff on your birthdays, on subscription anniversaries, and so on. So you just need to bring your student ID, sign up on your websites, and you're good to go. Use coupons. America, the US is great, is on coupons. They use coupons a lot. I did not know about their existence until recently, and I started to search coupons every time I do some online shopping, even if not online in person. But recently I've been doing a lot of online shopping, and you just type the name of the brand, the name of the store, and you put coupons, and there's literally so many coupons, at least for free shipping, because shipping is costs a lot here, like at least $5 for shipping something small. So those coupons help a lot. Use apps. Many of the American stores have their own apps. They give you certain bonuses, rewards from time to time, every time you shop with them. So those will give you special offers if you purchase them, if you have them. Check out Dollar Store or Five Below to get certain items for like very good prices. For example, getting pencils, you can get a bunch of pencils going to Five Below and getting them for $3 when you would get one on Amazon for $3. So I would suggest using those stores as well. Of course, the quality isn't that great, but there are some things that you need to make affordable choices on. Use the self-checkout in stores. Armenia, I don't think any store in Armenia has self-checkout option, but for example, in Walmart here, you can go and just check out your groceries yourself. And while checking out, I see what I need first, what is like very, very required for me to have. And then there are some additional things that I want to purchase. But if I go over the limit and I see it on the screen, I just put them back nicely, and usually they take care of it. And it is great because it makes you more mindful about it. Sometimes you still purchase it anyways and feel guilty about it afterwards, but that's my problem. That's that's not discussed to be discussed. Shopping for books. I again spent a lot of money shopping for books during the first semester, especially with cash. I didn't have my card, I didn't have my social security, therefore I couldn't buy anything on Amazon or other book or other places I could purchase books affordable. I would suggest you not to shop in the campus bookstore. Even if you're buying the old books or you're renting from the campus bookstore, it gives you a great um, amount of money, additional money, I don't know, it's additional costs. Shop at websites such as Amazon, Chegg, eBay, and even if you do not get the right books, you always have the option of sending them back for free. So make sure to use those websites. Rent the books instead. So for this semester, I rented all my books. I'm gonna send them back later when I'm done in December. There are monthly and annual rents and semester rents. So you could do that. Borrow or buy from fellow students. I know there are many students who use the same books, and if they're not willing or they're not able to sell them, some students just give their books away or exchange them with certain books that you have. So try to negotiate some things. Earn some money by reselling your old books. I am giving you this advice, but I cannot do this. I bought books for $100 each last semester. No, actually my first semester that I didn't know about all these tips. And I cannot resell them now for good price because the demand is not that great for those books, and I can only get about $10, and I do not want only $10. So I would just keep on holding on them. So I think just renting is a greater option here. Social life. So in Armenian classrooms, you obviously, even if those are like big lecture rooms, you obviously socialize at least with a few people, a handful of people. But here, you don't socialize much in a classroom setting. Usually people just go about without saying hi and just sit at the desk. This was one of my greatest cultural shocks, because I used to come into the room and say hi to the professor. Of course, I now still say hi to the professor, but I used to be like, hi, and like specifically look in the eyes and be like, hi, did you hear my hi? And then I used to go around and look at everyone and smile, and everyone is minding their own business. And if you can socialize, that's great. In a classroom setting, you can go up to people. They will be very willing to meet you and talk to you, because I believe they're also like a little lonely inside. In a classroom setting, it's a little awkward when it's all very silenced. However, it is not big, so don't be offended if someone comes into a room and doesn't say hi, or goes to the bathroom and doesn't ask for it. So US students are very involved in the campus life. They join various clubs and organizations. Anahita and Nara talked a lot about this, so I won't be talking a lot. If you're super passionate about everything, go join a club. Don't be afraid about it. And even if you want to explore, you don't know if you have that skill or not, just go join. It's not that serious. And they will teach you for sure. And you will get great connections out of it. And create a club if you don't have the one that you want. Participate in the events organized by your school. I wasn't big on this during this whole year. I did not participate in a lot of, especially international student events, because I had a lot of classes. I had a lot of studying to catch up with. So especially during work days, I did not engage a lot, because I thought that, oh my God, this is a concert and I do not need this. I would prioritize my academics over that. But if you do not have a lot of work to do, you can definitely go socialize, and it's important to take part in these events to feel included and to feel the community sense. You might get so busy with your classes sometimes that it's impossible to think about much socializing, on the other hand, so don't worry about it. Most of the time I don't go to the parties, I don't go out, that is not my thing. So it's all right to just stay in your room, relax all by yourself, watch some Netflix, or just even study on Friday nights, even if some people will shame you for that. So just try to be as balanced as possible and manage your time as wisely as you can. The next slide is to make the most of your university experience. You need to travel. You need to travel here. You have only 4 years, and if you're especially working and you do not have a lot of stuff to purchase, I would definitely suggest to save up and invest in some traveling. Personally, I went to only 2 states this year, and it was great. I went to California and I went to New York, and it was an amazing experience, and I got a lot out of it. So I would not get so much by purchasing clothes and by getting fancy decorations for my room. And I would definitely invest in experience more than in certain items, materialistic things. I would suggest you to get a job. Oh my God, I'm not following the chat. I just understood that. I'm so in my head today. Guys, I will definitely catch up with them.
It's okay, Anijan. There is, I think that guys are chatting in chat box, so there is nothing particularly to ask you about. They're just sharing experience, but I want to ask you to just have a couple of minutes because we are running out of time.
Yes, for sure. So I will just move on to the next slide. Just get a job. Yes, get a job. Even if you think you don't have the skill, just go to the career office in the university and definitely get a job. Get the best college experience. Use campus facilities mentioned before. Become a leader. I was so afraid to take any leadership positions, but now I have to. And for the next semester, I'm going to work with the international office, and I'm going to work with my scholarship as an academic development issue area leader. So it will give you a lot of great skills. Try new things, food, any experiments, any activities. Don't be scared, be open-minded about it. Don't compare your college experience to someone else's. I used to do this a lot on campus, and sometimes I used to compare my experience to Anahit's experience because we're both Armenians, we're both from the same background, but it is not right, and you all have your personal joyful experiences and personal problems. So share with each other, but do not compare. Finances, get a job, be financially responsible. You're the only person right now controlling your finances. There won't be a parent standing and saying, this is not a reasonable choice, so be responsible. Create a budget for emergency funds. In Florida, we have a lot of natural emergencies. So we have hurricanes every year and we have to evacuate. A month after I came to Florida, I had to evacuate and go to my friend's house, and I did not have enough money, and which is not great. So save up for some emergencies. You never know what will happen. COVID, anything like that. So invest in that. Keep looking for scholarships. Although you might have a lot of scholarships, I personally have a little bit of money to cover. So I am still looking for some scholarships I could do, or like jobs I could get. So like my leadership opportunity gives me $300 a semester right now, which is still a thing, which is great. So keep looking for them. Don't settle. Don't mess with the taxes. Ara mentioned this greatly. I cannot stress this enough. Money matters. Always be cautious about your subscriptions. So as we mentioned below, you're going to pay for everything. Cable TV, newspapers, online courses, apps, music, movies. Be sure to check your card and see what goes from it. So sometimes you subscribe and you get a free trial, and then you forget about it and you forget to cancel your subscription, and it takes a lot of money, and it happened to me so many times. Do not do that. They don't refund. Automate your bill payments to save some time and stress. Make your own coffee. Coffee shops are great. I just got a text that I got accepted as a barista in our coffee shop, and I'm so excited to work there this semester. Anyways, I'll get free coffee. Anyways, make your own coffee. I drink a lot of coffee, and 4 coffees a day will amount to $20. So I just make my own coffee. Consider buying more basic phone packages. I want to refer to this a little bit longer because I want to expand on this because I did not have a US number for a while because I thought it was very, very expensive, because it costs you about $50 if you want unlimited text, calls, and network data. So I would suggest to pair up with some friends and share the cost, because there are some plans that include certain lines, and you can get a friend and have free lines network and just share it together, I guess. So that's what I did, and now I'm not paying more than $20, which is great. Campus safety, safe ride services home. So you will have golf carts of public safety going around, and they will take care of you if you feel in danger on campus, if you do not feel comfortable going from the library to your house in the middle of the night. So be sure to have the app and call them anytime. Resident advisors, I mentioned that. Counseling center, and I mentioned that. Title IX and similar policies and laws, especially about alcohol and drug consumption, pills. So prescription is a very big thing here. We do not think about that in Armenia very seriously, but yeah. Just do not give pills to anyone, even if they feel bad, they have a headache. Do not feel entitled to give them any medical assistance in that sense. Questions? I'm a little out of breath, I'm sorry.